Edexcel predicted paper, non-calculator, May 2022, question 3, quadratic graphs. Here we see a question: complete a table of values to draw a graph, draw the graph, write down estimates of the roots, and then solve a slightly different graph where the left-hand bit is exactly the same but the right-hand bit looks a little bit fiddly. 8 marks. Looking to complete the table of values, some numbers are obviously easier than others, so I would start with the easier numbers. I'd be tempted to start with the positive 4 and work backwards. Negative numbers are often quite tricky to deal with, and there are other ways of getting around them. X is 4, so y is 4 squared minus 2 times 4 minus 1. 4 squared is 16, minus 2 times 4 is 8, minus 1 gives me an answer of 7. I would be then tempted to do number 3. X is 3, so we've got 3 squared minus 2 times 3 minus 1. 3 squared 9, minus 2 3s are 6, minus 1 gives me an answer of 2. Could check their 2 and their 1, but normally they would get those right, so I would be tempted to do 0 next, which actually is very easy. Nothing squared minus 2 times nothing minus 1. Nothing minus nothing minus 1 is minus 1. And quite often with quadratics we see some kind of a panandronic nature to the answers. We do need to do minus 1 correctly. It is a bit fiddly. Minus 1 squared minus 2 times minus 1 minus another 1. I'd be tempted to put minus 1 in a bracket, always useful. Minus 1 times minus 1 is plus 1. Minus 2 times minus 1, a minus times a minus, as we know, is a plus, and 2 times 1 is 2. We've got the minus 1 at the end. 1 plus 2 is 3, minus 1 is 2. And here we can see the panandronic nature of quadratic graphs. It says draw the graph, so the first thing I need to do is plot this table of values. Minus 2 goes up to 7, minus 1 goes up to 2, nothing goes down to minus 1, just be careful with that one, it's tempting to plot it over here. Nothing goes down to minus 1, 1 goes down to minus 2, 2 to minus 1, 3 goes up to 2, and 4 goes up to 7. It's then very tempting to get the ruler out, but of course quadratic graphs, x squared graphs, should be drawn as best you possibly can with a lovely smooth curve. Make sure the bottom of the curve definitely still looks like a curve. I do see people drawing those with straight lines. That would be marked wrong, you would lose some credit. Part C estimates the roots of the equation. Now I often think with roots, I just think of tree roots. If this was a tree growing, its roots would clearly start there and there, and it does say estimates, so the examiner will normally give you a bit of leeway. I would suggest that number there is probably around about minus 0.4, and the number there is probably around about 2.4. It did say estimates, there will be some leeway because everyone's quadratic graph will be drawn slightly differently because they are curves. The last part to this question, there's lots of different ways you could solve this. You could make it equal 0 and throw the quadratic formula or factorise it, but knowing we already have that drawn, I'd be tempted to draw the graph y equals x plus 3 because we've already got the one on the left drawn. It's a lovely straight line. To draw a straight line we just need 2 points. I'd be tempted to go for 3 points. So we'll choose some easy numbers for x. If x is, let's choose nothing, y is nothing plus 3. If x was 1, y would be 1 plus 3. If x is 3, I'm just choosing these randomly, y is 3 plus 3. And I can plot those points. We've got 0, 3, 1, 4, 3 comma 6. I can see I've done it right because they're making a lovely straight line, and I will join those together using my ruler in the exam to form the line y equals x plus 3. Now we do not want to find where that graph meets that graph. They're meeting each other here and at that point there. And we can find out what x is just by drawing a line going downwards. X is minus 1, and usually with quadratic equations there will be two solutions. The other solution looks to me like it's x is 4.